What did I say about this T-VCT tank by OBS? What did I say? Ooh, oh yeah, I remember. If they came out with an RBA section, I'd be on this like stinking on shit. So the build I have in here is a nickel build 0.08. That's what it's set to at 320 degrees at 40 watts, sitting on this Hanamaz V4, and I got the airflow wide open on both sides. To the close-ups. Before we get into the RBA section, I do want to show you this. Okay, here's a brand new T-VCT tank. And now what's different, the only thing that's different is the logo. Okay, they got that big old alien on the side right here, and then they got T-VCT engraved. And then on this side, they got OBS engraved, okay, as you guys can see. Now on the original, on the first one, everything's exactly the same as this, except logos are up here, TVC was up here, and then you had OBS up here. So that right there is the only changes they made for this device. Other than that, everything is exactly the same. Alrighty, so here's the T-VCT RBA section for this T-VCT tank. So here's the packaging this T-VCT RBA section comes in. Sleeve slides off. Top pops off, and the first thing that I see is this product manual for this section. How to use it, all that good stuff. And then inside they include a deck section, a chamber section, and an extra flathead screwdriver. And here's the RBA section for this device, okay? It is tiny, 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 primarily made for your single coils. You got your positive connection here, and then your negative connection here, okay? Uses flathead screws. As you guys can see, the way I've been doing it is I've been tightening down my leads underneath each screw, each flathead screw, but you can also slide your leads inside those post holes, okay? A lot like the Limo RTA. The space between each negative or positive and negative connection is, I mean, it's narrow, man. You got to do builds, smaller builds. I've been doing a lot of builds around a 5/64 drill bit or smaller. You got your insulator, your positive insulator down here. Threads down here which screw into the base. And then over here, you see this little notch? That little notch is made for the chamber section to fit with the chamber section. You'll see what I'm talking about in a second. In the center, you got the air hole, so the air comes up underneath the coil. Airflow, airflow, airflow. And then here's the chamber section. Okay, you got that alien on the side, the OBS alien. You got your feed holes parallel, one on one side and then one on the other. You got your threads in the top of the chamber which screw into the shaft section, the inside of the shaft section on the T-VCT tank. Inside here at the base, no threads. As you guys can see, there's no threads. It press fits onto the deck. And then you got that notch, but it fits in the notch on the deck and allows it to where when it fits, it won't spin because the feed holes have to be lined up with the wick on both sides. See that lining up the notch in the inside of the chamber with the notch on the outside of the deck? Boom. Press fits into place. Doesn't spin because of that. Easy to pull out. So the wire I've been using for this section, for this RBA section, has been the 28 gauge nickel wire. The NI200 nickel wire. I've been doing nickel builds mostly. I would say 90% of the time for this RBA section because it just kicks ass. So let me just show you how I do my wraps, okay? I got this piece about 8 inches, 6 to 8 inches of this NI200 28 gauge nickel. Okay, so here's the trick of this wire. First of all, I'm going to be using this 28 gauge. Like I mentioned, I'm going to be wrapping around a 5/64 size screwdriver, but I'm going to do 8 wraps. They're going to be standard, and the whole trick to this is you got to keep the slack out. You got to keep it tight, and then at the end you push it against that lip, okay, and it just springs perfect, springs back perfect. So here we go. So that's what we have so far. Now all we're going to do is just spring this coil back onto this lip of this screwdriver. And you notice how I have one lead going under, the other lead going under in the opposite direction. Spring it. Pops back perfect every time. From there I screw the deck section into the base section of this T-VCT tank. Next step, make sure the connection screws on the deck are backed out just a little bit. Take my coil, place it just like this. So what we're going to do is we're going to wrap this lead around or underneath this screw, and then wrap this lead underneath this screw. And that's what I love about the 28 gauge nickel. It's just thin enough and it's just soft enough to tighten down under any small screw like this. I mean, it's easy. Easy! Lift it off the deck just a little bit. Center it a little bit more. Looking good. Break off the leads. Now with this nickel, you don't want it to be too tight, but you don't want it to be too loose. You just want it to be just right. So you want to get enough cotton in there to where it's not just too packed, but it's just packed enough. That way the chamber can fit over it. Then from there you want to line up this notch on the inside of this chamber with the notch on the outside of this deck. Boom. See that? You got cotton block in one hole on one side, and then you got cotton block in the other hole on the other side. So what I like about this tank, I could either fill it from the top, take the top cap off, fill it from the top, or I can turn it upside down and fill it from the bottom, which is what I'm going to be doing today because we're using this thing in RBA mode, and I recommend whenever you're using this thing in RBA mode, fill it from the bottom, don't fill it from the top because this tank will flood. It's flooded in my experiences anyways. Get her in there in between the shaft and the tank and start to squeeze. About right there is good. So that right there is a close-up look at this T-VCT RBA section. Let's go ahead and take her back to FaceTime and vape on her. Con number one, the deck section is small. The screws are small. If you want to do macro coils, you can't do them. Not on this. I mean, it's just too damn small. This deck section is made for micro coils and nano coils. What I do think this deck is great for is nickel builds, man. Nickel builds all the way. 28 gauge nickel builds like you guys saw in the close-ups. I mean, it was easy. Off camera, it takes me like 2 minutes. 2 minutes to do those nickel builds, and I'm good to go. I really like the notch inside the chamber, how it fits on the notch on the deck so it doesn't spin in place. That's a really cool feature. Here's the thing. If you're a nickel builder, you're going to love it. But if you're not, I don't know. You can't do macro coils. You're only limited to micro coils and nano coils. So OBS, the guys that manufacture this tank, the guys that manufacture this RBA section, they're the ones that sent this to me to review for you guys. Here's the deal. If this is not included with this, I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to go buy this separately. I'm not going to go buy this separately. It's just a pain in the ass. And here's a message to you, OBS, so listen up. You got Kangatech over here. They offer everything. They got it all, man. They got it all. You guys should do the same thing. That's just my 2 cents. My 2 cents. Here's another thing. Let's say a newbie walks in. They buy your product. They're just looking for that convenience. They want to pop in a coil head and go, 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 go. They don't have to worry about rebuildables. Hell, they don't even know about rebuildables yet. But a month down the road, let's say you have included this in the package. They're going to go to that rebuildable, right? And they're going to start rebuilding. But if you don't include it, what are they going to do? They're going to go online, or they're going to go in their brick and mortar, and they're going to see something like the Kangatech that's already got all that. And they're going to buy that. That's business that you're going to lose out. That's just my opinion. I'm just trying to help you guys out. So take it with a grain of salt or not. Hey, it's up to you. This is Rip Trippers, and remember, smoking is dead, vaping is the future, and the future is now.